How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. Now on today's show, we're going to be talking about last night's Premier League action. We're going to be talking about tonight's Premier League action. And we're also going to be talking about Erik ten Hag and whether he's going to be out of a job by Christmas.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right.
So the first place we're going to start is the Premier League action last night, and I'm still trying to get over that one. I'm still trying to recover. My word. What an eventful evening. There were two games, of course, last night. The first one we're going to speak about quickly is Wolves against Burnley, and it was a 1-0 win for Wolves. So Burnley going back to type and losing again after a brilliant performance at the weekend. But yeah, the big game, of course, and all the talking point is the Arsenal-Luton game, 4-3. And breathe. What an emotional roller coaster. I said before the game in all my previews that this was going to be a very tough game. Going to the Kenilworth Road is never, ever, ever going to be easy. And I think too many people showed too much disrespect towards Luton. And, it was going to be a walkover. Completely different when you play them at your home ground. But at Kenilworth Road, very, very different story. And it took Declan Rice with an injury time winner. One thing I will say is that I see a lot of people saying, where was the extra minute? Because it was 6 minutes injury time. We scored in the 97th. They were all saying, I actually had a look at it. We scored 23 seconds after the 6-minute mark. Now, if you want to complain about why the referee added that little bit of extra time, maybe you should speak to the Luton goalkeeper and the way that he was wasting some time with the goal kicks. And the referee, if you watch him, even said that he was pointing, to his watch and saying, I'm going to add this on. So at the end of the day, 6 minutes doesn't mean 6 minutes. It doesn't mean that automatically on the 6-minute mark you blow your whistle. Referee's discretion. So nothing wrong with it, despite Alan Shearer moaning as usual. Mikel Arteta as well picked up a booking for the celebrations, and it means it's his third this season. So he's actually going to be banned from the touchline against Aston Villa at the weekend. One way or another, they're going to try and get him, aren't they? That was ridiculous. How on earth are you banning him and giving him a yellow card for that? What did he do wrong? Pathetic. But listen, Arsenal got the job done. It's a massive 3 points. And we can sit back and watch the rest of the games tonight. And speaking of those games tonight, it's a packed fixture list. Fulham against Nottingham Forest. Sheffield United against Liverpool. Of course, Sheffield United under Chris Wilder now, who has come back to the club. So will they have that new manager bounce? I'm sure that, the ground's going to be absolutely rocking. That could potentially be a difficult one for Liverpool. Crystal Palace against Bournemouth. Brighton against Brentford. And then two really, really big games here. Aston Villa against Manchester City. Man City, of course, without Rodri and Grealish. I don't know what the situation with Doku is. He came off with what looked like an injury against Spurs. That's going to be a very, very interesting game. And this is why it's so important that Arsenal got those 3 points. Because you've got two sides that are in and amongst that area with us. Are going to be playing against each other. So one of them or both of them are going to be dropping points. And then this is a very big game. Manchester United against Chelsea. Chelsea, mid-table, but Manchester United. There's a lot going on at the moment. And this kind of takes me nicely into my next segment. Erik ten Hag. Could he well be out of a job before Christmas? I think I tweeted about a month or so ago that I felt he will be out of a job by Christmas. But I'm looking at what's going on at Manchester United right now, and it's an absolute mess. And it's not so much, the performances and everything. It's what's going on behind the scenes. It looks very much like Erik ten Hag has lost the Manchester United dressing room. In his press conference yesterday, there was reporters banned from the press conference because of things that they've been saying. It's very reminiscent to the Fergie era, when he used to put bans on reporters. But at the end of the day, Manchester United were producing on the pitch and they were winning titles and whatnot. This Manchester United side are a million miles away from winning any kind of title. And I'm just looking at the way that Manchester United are playing, and you look at Marcus Rashford, his performance at Newcastle, and look, listen, we can all sit and interpret what we feel and whatnot. And when he came off, it does very much look like he said, "What the F am I doing here?" I honestly don't know. It just looks to me from the outside in that a lot of these players can't be bothered anymore. It looks like they just don't want to play for the manager. And it's very reminiscent of, you know, previous managers, times going past, and player power and everything else. And I said this a while ago when the whole Ten Hag and Ronaldo stuff came about, that Manchester United, you know, they needed to be strong. They needed to back their manager. And they did in that instance. But I feel that this is a lot deeper than just Erik ten Hag, you know, getting rid of the bad apples. I feel that Erik ten Hag himself could be one of those apples, because the way that he sets up Manchester United, the way that they play, I don't see anything in terms of progression with Manchester United. I don't see an identity. I don't see a plan. You know, you go to the Mikel Arteta situation with Arsenal, and when you got to those really, really bad times, and he had his, you know, issues as well with your Aubameyangs, Ozils, etc. And he had to try and get rid of these players, and Guendouzi's, and there was loads going on at Arsenal. And then the results were really bad, and the board and everybody stuck by him. But what you could always see was an identity. You could see moments where you go, I get it. I get what he's trying to do. Let him buy his players. The problem is that Erik ten Hag has bought his players and they're poor. The problem is that Erik ten Hag has had long enough to implement a style. It's awful. So as Manchester United fans, they'll be sitting there and going, well, what are we actually getting? What are we doing? What's actually, you know, the long-term project here? I honestly don't see it. I genuinely don't. And it looks to me, like I said, from the outside in, that Erik ten Hag is now, you know, trying to validate his position and trying to, you know, yeah, it's just the inevitable. That's what it looks like to me. It just feels like the inevitable. It's just waiting to happen. I feel that if Manchester United lose to Chelsea, especially at Old Trafford, I feel the writing could be on the wall. I feel that could well be, you know, it. That could be done. It's very interesting. I'm going to look at Manchester United's next game after this one, and they're at home to Bournemouth. So you've got to say, if they beat Chelsea, they should be able to beat Bournemouth. And then that kind of relieves that pressure a bit on Ten Hag. But then does it just paper over the cracks? It's a very interesting one. A very, very interesting one. Because after that, they've got Liverpool away. So if they lose to Chelsea, and even if they beat Bournemouth and then they lose to Liverpool, which is always the big game for them, I feel the writing's on the wall. I really, really do. So, listen, we will wait and see. Let's see what happens with the games in itself. But yeah, some very, very interesting, you know, matches tonight, and we will see what happens. So, listen, there we go. That is it for today's DT's Daily. As usual, let me know in the comment section what you think. Let me know what you feel about the games last night, Arsenal, etc. The games tonight, what are the standout games for you? Do you agree with the Erik ten Hag situation? I know a lot of Manchester United fans watch the channel, so let me know. Do you feel the writing's on the wall? Do you want change? Do you want to back him still? Let me know what it is. Let me know in the comment section. So, yeah, listen, if you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.